Marcelo is he's like having a coach out there where we have so much new stuff going on, and he's constantly helping the other guys where they should be, and he just understands how to play basketball. So he was getting guys wide open shots the entire practice. He was competing on defense, but mainly the way he was running his team's offense in the scrimmage was really impressive.
Luke said you're like a second coach on the court at some of these scrimmages. Did you feel that too?
Oh, I think that's part of the job of the point guard on the court, trying to be a leader, really vocal, like I said before, and we have to communicate with everyone, and we're the voice of the coach on the court. So I think all point guards should have a little bit of that, and I try to do my best job doing that.
What does Marcelo and Jose bring to this team?
Those guys are great. Just that veteran leadership. Those guys, they've been around for a while, and they know what it takes, and they know what they're talking about. So when they speak, I listen.
What things do they help you with?
Just on the floor, reading pick and rolls. Really on the offensive end, just reads.
You've been point guard primarily throughout your career. Do you see yourself doing that with the Lakers, or maybe some shooting guard as well?
I think we have a lot of guys who can really handle the ball. I can see myself with D'Angelo on the court, and he making plays for me, and I can, open for a space. I can see myself with Lou Williams. I can see myself with JC, with Clarkson. So all of them can really make plays, and I'm really a guy who, yes, I can make play for those guys playing pick and rolls, but I got no problem just being off the ball and just giving them a space, and I can be just, up there to shoot those threes. So whatever the coach decide, I'm going to be pretty flexible on that situation.
John, we know what Marcelo brings to the table because we had him here in Los Angeles last year. You've covered Calderon. You've called his games. He hit that big three to beat the Lakers last year. Give us a little input on him.
Very underrated was the point guard of the Spanish national team, a team that featured the Gasol brothers, Serge Ibaka, Rudy Fernandez. And I think the key thing, and he alluded to it there at the end, Chris, is he can play either the shooting guard or the point guard. And as the shooting guard, he's a 41% three-point shooter. 41%. That's pretty good. So if D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson, both who are combo guards, can create off the dribble, he's going to get some open shots, as is Lou Williams. They could be the prime beneficiaries of the young guys creating off the dribble.
All right, let's bring in Mike Bresnahan. We go back to Rob Gym, just outside of Rob Gym on the campus of UC Santa Barbara. So, Brez, Luke gave Marcelo some high praise, said he's like a coach on the floor. We know what Jose brings to the table. How do you see this playing out with these two?
Guys, if you talk around some of the people around the team at some of these closed practices, you realize pretty quickly that Marcelo is probably going to be the backup point guard to start the season. All right, it's early. There's still a few weeks left until that becomes official, but I have a feeling that he will be the backup guy. Let's remember, by the way, D'Angelo had a really good 8-game run at the end of February and into March last season when Marcelo was the main point guard, and D'Angelo played a little bit more of a shooting guard at that situation. But as Calderon said, he's very versatile. And as John said, he can hit from three. And Jose and I talked about this as well when I interviewed him. He's fine with just letting D'Angelo set up plays and becoming a true point guard. And Jose will just sit back there at the arc and just jack up shots. So I could see that happening for sure.
And to piggyback on that, Chris, Huertas, besides being a great guy, Huertas, he doesn't look like an NBA basketball player. He's kind of got quirky motions. He looks like a guy you might see playing basketball down at Venice Beach. But he was really effective in certain spots last year. It isn't pretty, but it works. And he's got a bunch of old school tricks to his game. It's kind of like watching one of the Globetrotters. I really hope Huertas, that Brez is right. Huertas is the backup point guard. You have Calderon basically sub in for either one, Clarkson or Russell, and then you get your whole backcourt set.